It's quite surreal to be here with you lot because you know that song. Who here was introduced to Bob Vylan through that song? A couple of yous. A couple of yous found us through that song, and it was a trip, man, because you know we released it in 2020, and well, the world was shutting down because of that thing, COVID. Remember COVID? Remember? Yeah. Remember? Let the bodies pile high. That's what Boris Johnson was saying around them times, wasn't he? Remember that crazy time they were giving track and trace contracts to their friends? Sidebar, we'll get back to that story. Fuck the Tories, yes. But, it's not really up Labour, is it? Because they're just as bad at the moment, aren't they? So it's kind of like fuck them all. Free Palestine. Of course, free Palestine each and every time. More on that later. Let's tackle one heavy thing first, and we work our way up, do you know what I mean, get heavier and heavier. But look, it was a crazy time when we released that song, and people found us through that song, and then we released an album, and at the time of releasing that album, both me, Bob, and he, Bob, were out of jobs. So the Bobs had no jobs, and you know, we were figuring things out, and all of a sudden, things started taking off and people started sharing that song around in that video. Aided in part by a video that we paid a friend about £150 to shoot, and the fact that I just so happened to be wearing the clean t-shirt that was there that day, and it had a Crest logo on it. Really wasn't any thought behind it. There was no stylist or anything, but we released that song and it kind of took off, and then when 2021 came about and they decided we could go out and we could tour, there was all of a sudden, there was people in the room that knew the lyrics to the album and the songs that we had put out, and you know, they were there in the hundreds, you know, the very low hundreds. And it was a really like incredible time, and we thought like, oh wow, this is like fantastic, do you know what I mean? Because like we're used to playing to absolutely nobody, and so it's kind of weird performing that song because it was one of the earliest ones. And then you know, we've been away and we've released a couple of things, and we've released an album last year called Bob Vylan Presents The Price of Life. You know, it helped us get into the charts, UK album charts, and we did a bunch of cool things, and we got a couple of awards and stuff, and then we've made a new album now, and that album is out next year, and it's called Humble as the Sun, and comes out April 5th, and you know, we released, someone's really excited about it, it's a good album. There's little posters around with QR codes that you can scan, you can order vinyls and stuff if you like, but look, it's a trip playing that song, the old song, and then now we would like to play a new song for you from the new album, the most recent release, you know? So that's one of our older releases, and we'd like to play one of the newer ones. But before we do so, we need a favour of all the men in here, and you look like you can be trusted, but you never know. So we just ask if the men could just take a little step back and make some space for the women, and non-binary folk, to come to the front and enjoy themselves. And women, if you're up there in the balcony, Or if you're at the back there and you're like, oh, I'd like to go down there and have a mosh. Non-binary folk, if you're up there and about to be around the back there and you want to come down, we'll give you a minute to make your way to the front, do you know what I mean? And the blokes will give you some space. The blokes will give you some space. They can be trusted, can't they? The geezers here in Manny. Yeah, they can be trusted. Alright. So make your way to the front and you can, you know, enjoy yourself and mosh about without any threat of being knocked to the floor by any of these brutes. And yeah, you can enjoy yourself, alright? I won't come down there with you because of course that would be a hypocritical thing to do. No. It's quite alright, you enjoy yourself. This is He's a Man. Geezers, if you want to mosh, you can do a little mosh pit at the back there. But women and non-binary folk, you can do a mosh pit at the front. Enjoy yourself. Look after each other.